Have you ever been in a room full of people, yet noticed that the quietest person somehow commands the most attention? There's something almost magnetic about silence. Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of silence, why quiet people are more powerful. Before we begin, if you enjoy insights that change the way you see the world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss these mind-shifting ideas. Silence is often misunderstood. In a world that celebrates the loud, the outspoken, and the constantly connected, quietness can be mistaken for weakness. But what if I told you that some of the most powerful figures in history, leaders, thinkers, and innovators, were the ones who mastered the art of silence? Think about it for a moment. When someone speaks less, every word they do say carries weight. Silence is a tool, a form of influence that works silently yet profoundly. It's not about shyness, it's about presence. When quiet people walk into a room, there's an invisible gravity that pulls attention toward them. People subconsciously lean in, eager to catch even the smallest word. There's a psychological principle at work here called the power of pause. When you pause before speaking, when you choose your words carefully, you are telling the world that your thoughts are valuable, that your words are worth waiting for. This pause creates a sense of anticipation. And anticipation, it's a powerful motivator. It draws people in and keeps them engaged. Studies show that quiet individuals often excel at listening, and listening is one of the most underrated forms of power. When you truly listen, you understand. You absorb not just the words, but the emotions, the motivations, the fears behind those words. This gives quiet people a distinct advantage. They can respond strategically without reacting impulsively. They act with thoughtfulness, and people notice that. Consider leaders like Abraham Lincoln or Mahatma Gandhi. They weren't constantly shouting their ideas from rooftops. They spoke with intention, letting their presence and actions speak as loudly as their words. Their quiet demeanor didn't make them invisible. It made them unforgettable. But silence isn't just about influence. It's also about clarity. When you spend time in silence, you're giving yourself space to think, to reflect, to strategize. Quiet people often excel at creative problem solving because they aren't distracted by constant noise, both external and internal. They can see patterns others miss, anticipate moves others overlook, and make decisions with precision. And here's the fascinating part. Silence can create mystery. People are naturally curious about what they don't know. When someone is quiet, they become a puzzle. Others project meaning onto them, filling in the gaps with admiration, intrigue, or even respect. That mysterious aura, it's magnetic. Silence also plays a role in negotiation. Have you ever noticed that in tense conversations, the person who stays calm and quiet often gains the upper hand? It's not coincidence. When you remain silent, you force others to reveal more than they intend. You gather information, control the pace, and maintain power, all without raising your voice. But there's a common misconception, that being quiet means being isolated or lonely. In reality, quiet individuals often form deeper, more meaningful connections. They choose their words with care, which makes their communication more impactful. They're not speaking to fill space, they're speaking to create connection. And that makes people listen, trust, and follow them more willingly. Here's the secret many don't realize. Quiet people are not powerless, they're strategic. They understand energy, timing, and influence in ways loud voices often cannot. By embracing silence, they amplify their presence, their authority, and their impact on the world around them. So the next time you find yourself in a group, take a moment to observe the quiet ones. Notice how people gravitate toward them, hang on their words, and react to their presence. There's a lot to learn from them, and maybe, just maybe, you can learn to harness the same power for yourself. But what if I told you that there's more to this quiet power than just listening, thinking, and creating mystery? That silence holds a deeper, almost untapped psychological advantage, one that can influence not just individuals, but entire rooms, entire organizations, even entire movements. This deeper layer of silence lies in control. Control of perception, control of emotion, and control of influence. Quiet people understand that words are powerful, but silence is even more powerful. It's a way of commanding attention without forcing it, of shaping interactions without overtly asserting dominance. In essence, silence is a quiet kind of authority that few ever truly recognize. Think about it. When someone talks constantly, they're giving away energy, revealing thoughts, sometimes even revealing insecurities. But when someone remains calm, measured, and silent, they conserve energy and project confidence. People notice this even subconsciously. They sense strength in restraint, wisdom in observation, and reliability in someone who doesn't react to every impulse. This subtle control is a form of power few appreciate until they experience it firsthand. There's also a fascinating neurological side to silence. Studies show that moments of quiet actually increase brain activity in areas responsible for focus and emotional regulation. Quiet people often have the ability to think deeply, anticipate outcomes, and approach situations with remarkable clarity. They're not just silent, they're processing, analyzing, and preparing. And when they finally speak, their words carry unmatched weight. Silence also gives quiet people an emotional advantage. In tense situations, those who remain silent can diffuse conflict, maintain composure, and influence others without ever raising their voice. They don't escalate, they redirect. Others react to them rather than the other way around. And that, ultimately, is a hallmark of true influence. Now imagine the subtle ways silence can be used in leadership. The quiet leader doesn't need to dominate meetings with endless talk. They allow others to speak. They listen, they observe, and they act at the perfect moment. Their words are precise, deliberate, and impactful. Teams respect them not because they're the loudest, but because they are the most thoughtful, the most strategic, and the most reliable. Silence even shapes relationships. When you learn to sit back and truly listen, you create space for others to be heard. People feel valued, respected, and understood. And when that trust builds, you gain influence that no loud argument could ever achieve. Quiet people often form bonds that are stronger, more loyal, and more meaningful than those formed through constant chatter. But here's the most surprising truth. Silence can make you irresistible, not in a superficial sense, but in a profound psychological way. Humans are wired to notice patterns, and when someone consistently holds back their words, it creates a rhythm that draws attention. Every word, every gesture, every action becomes significant. You become someone people pay attention to, someone whose opinions matter, someone whose presence is felt even without a single spoken word. This is why learning the art of silence isn't about being shy or withdrawn. It's about mastering self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and strategic influence. It's about recognizing that power isn't always loud. It's deliberate, calculated, and quietly transformative. So how can you start embracing this power today? Begin small. Listen more than you speak. Reflect before responding. Practice patience in conversation and observation in group settings. Notice how people react to your words and your presence. Slowly, you'll discover that your quiet moments carry more influence than you ever imagined. Remember, being quiet doesn't make you invisible. It makes you unforgettable. It gives your words weight, your presence depth, and your influence subtle yet undeniable. And as you grow comfortable with silence, you'll notice something remarkable. The world begins to respond to you differently. People listen. People respect. People are drawn toward your calm, measured energy. So if you've ever underestimated the power of silence, it's time to rethink that. Quietness is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's a skill. It's a superpower hiding in plain sight. The next time you feel the urge to fill every moment with words, pause, observe, let the silence speak. And here's your challenge. Experiment with this quiet power in your daily life. Notice the subtle shifts, the attention, the respect, and the influence that comes naturally when you choose your words and your moments of silence with intention. If you found this insight valuable and want to unlock more hidden psychological secrets about human behavior, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Dive deeper with us into the fascinating ways your mind and your silence can shape the world around you. Remember, sometimes the most powerful voice in the room is the one that isn't speaking at all.